and welcome to the NXT review. We are the Dudley Boys of What Culture. I'm Adam Wilbourn, joined by Michael Hamflett and Michael Sidgwick, here to review everything that happened on last night's episode of NXT. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. We do daily wrestling podcasts where we not only review the show formerly known as NXT 2.0, AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week complete with a video quiz, of course, on Wrestle Culture. As I said, though, joined by Hamflett and Sidgwick to review last night's episode of NXT New Year's Evil. What a show this was. Here we go.
Sorry, yeah. It was hard not to think about. I mean, I didn't want the matches to be any longer than they were, but you could see an almost.
Yeah.
You could see in almost all of them where the time was cut.
For good reason.
Well, and that's where we'll disagree. I think it was for a reason.
For a reason.
It was for a reason. Yeah. Wasn't much to this one, and I would say the main event was the second Fed main event this week that I would classify as a crushing disappointment, quite honestly.
Are you just in a mood because The Rock put you in your place last night? Is that the problem?
He sure did.
Set the record straight, baby.
I should probably just go online and apologise. The Rock was had me banged to rights.
I saw praise about this promo. What? Anyway, we'll get to that. We'll get to the promo. I immensely enjoyed NXT relative to the other NXTs because a lot of the matches were like, get the hell out of here, go home. Rock's coming. So there's not that much to talk about. That's good. Whew, what a relief. And The Rock laid an egg.
Yeah.
That we can talk about.
Golden egg. We'll get into
it. Not really. I'll tell you, here's something, though. This is a facetious podcast where, we do bits. We don't do bits, but we do bits. Here's something. Genuinely a genuine question for our international viewers.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Was it a pain in the arse finding it for you? It was for me.
What, on Netflix?
Yeah.
I found it easy. I thought you were going to say about
I mean, I'm thick, right? But it did take us 5 minutes.
I typed in NXT.
I typed in NXT in the search.
Well, here's what, dickhead. Here's what I did, dickheads. I typed in NXT.
Did you sure you didn't type in AEW? Because they're different letters.
Why would I want to type that?
Yeah, fair.
If I want to type in, if I want to watch some AEW action in that main event scene, I would just watch some Acme explosion. What's it called? Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
That's what I would do. God damn it. So I typed in, and I'm thick, NXT.
Yeah.
There should have been something on the homepage. Jesus Christ, guys. New episode of this WWE TV just dropped. Here it is, front and center next to Jerry Springer documentary. Looking forward to that, by the way.
I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah.
I have to go my upper and downer here and type in NXT, and then there's WWE Collection, which is like a full day where they're all going in, I think, because Raw was there.
Yeah.
Guess what wasn't?
NXT.
Oh. So it's like Raw, upcoming, SmackDown. Where's NXT then? So I went, right, okay. Type in New Year's Evil. And it was New Year's Evil 2024. And I almost watched 2 minutes of it before I realized what year I'm in. It's like, God, imagine what a waste of my life that would have been. So I found it by going NXT live and upcoming 15th of January or whenever it is. Clicked that, and then previous episodes on New Year's Evil 2025.
So what you were saying was NXT was saying to you previously
on wrestling. But you know what I mean? Why isn't the thumbnail just there?
Yeah.
I think my Netflix knows what I want.
I wonder if that's like some really boring compromise because, with SmackDown, it's probably going to be the same. Because they're on like Shoot Telly in America still. I wonder if only Raw's allowed to be Raw on Netflix. And then it's like NXT and SmackDown on Netflix. Apart from in America, where we do.
So you typed in NXT, enter, and it just said New Year's Evil 2025.
Yeah,
I think I might have clicked on that
pressed
thing.
the NXT button, and then the drop down was for January, and it was just the first episode of January. NXT New Year's Evil.
Either way, it's me being thick. I've wasted enough time on this.
I thought you were going to talk about the bits where they'd go to the ad breaks, which you really made you realize how many ad breaks there is in American television when it was just like slow-mo footage of, I don't know, Kalani Jordan or whoever.
Trick Williams, just going like that.
Tony D.
Yeah.
I watched that entire. It was Tony D. I was like, well, what?
You're not quite as slick as Raw as an ad experience. This one, was it?
I do like it being on Netty because the internet in mine is just rubbish. And like even when I got it moderately improved, like Disney Plus works. downloading games and like installing updates quite quick. Netflix, even when my internet was god awful, Netflix's playback was just perfect, peerless. Amazon Prime, good. Like, even when I got my internet improved, WWE Network was still always bobbins. It's half the reason why I think I'm out on wrestling, even though Kenny Omega's pulling me back in. I'll try and go back with some Mid-South and, go back and, like, watch the stuff that you like. And I get it. And I'd go and watch Mid-South and I start buffering. Well, f*** you, Ted DiBiase. And you pressure bandage. It's fake anyway. I don't... You know what I mean? Yeah, I was just like, piss off. It's just flawless playback and it looks amazing.
Netflix was the first streaming service I remember where the buffering,
it's never buffered.
It would reduce the quality rather than stop.
Yeah.
You could take that because you would see it go a bit fuzzy for a second, then it would just suddenly be back in HD. And that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
You just like dip the quality just for a second until it catches.
No quality lost on NXT last night, though, would you say?
Not a bit. Yeah.
Do you get any of yours streaming services? Because it's more interesting than this. Just go in and out.
I don't know, but I will say, because the kids both got like smart TVs. One was getting an Xbox, so we had to keep it even, and the other one got a smart TV. And because they've been like using those a little bit, so like one might be streaming Netflix and one might be playing online or something like that. I have actually noticed the house Wi-Fi being a bit slower than before, and then you see those adverts are like, now that nobody speaks to anybody, get our more super. And I finally understand why those services exist. Yeah. Never would have needed it before. So I think we're kind of testing it a bit for the first time and might need to upgrade or something, but otherwise it's okay.
Mine's rubbish.
I had a proper Pando flashback there of you,
like
carrying the laptop.
Yeah, finding the room that was the best.
I look like someone said you got filmed on a potato. And it's like, this is my fuzzy head. I'm already a human coconut. Whoever dickhead said that, I'll kick your ass.
Right, let's get into
coconut at the potato factory. How's that get in here?
That's where your dad worked, didn't it?
Hey, did you?
No, we established it was a farm.
Good memory, that's right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Established it was a farm.
That's a farm.
Let's get into New Year's Evil, though. We are at
Just my dad spent like all day long in painstaking labour, like sort of lugging potatoes into boxes and stuff. Have you seen my latest YouTube wrestling podcast, Dad?
My mate's taking the piss out of you.
I'm surprised he doesn't look at me and goes, "How's work going, son?" Or something like that. Sorry, Dad.
New Year's Evil from the Shrine Auditorium.
His mates had Sky. That's how I watched all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like some of his mates that he pestered. They would have to, on like a Tuesday night when a WWF pay-per-view was on Sky, because they weren't live at the time. Like, hello, fellow incredibly hard-working factory worker. Can you not use your incredibly expensive subscription service so you can take that wrestling for my son, please? I have to leave it on the channel all night.
Yeah, I probably loved it, man.
It's like, well, the Undertaker's fighting the Undertaker, so I think my son needs that taping. Actually, that was one of my dad's favourite because Tanker turned heel. He still talks about that to this day.
Brilliant.
He never saw that coming. He just, whoa!
One thing that my mum always talks about is two things. One, I dragged them all down to Capital Carnage because I was just so spoiled.
Yep.
Like, I want to go to London. They're doing it in London and I can go to that.
I want to see Big Ben and Jacqueline's big...
Just drove us down. And D'Lo Brown, who my mum always liked the head shake, was doing some thing with the Queen where he was outside of Buckingham Palace. Like, Queenie! My mum still talks about that. She just loves, absolutely loves. I'm just a common man.
Nice.
Working hard with my hands, just like you.
Yeah. My parents have shown complete disdain for my job. They wanted me to be a lawyer. Picture that.
There's a picture there.
Yeah.
Did they have any wrestling thing of like, oh, I remember them?
No, not really at all. I think it was very much like hidden away, like watching it at a mate. I remember watching Sunday Night Heat at my mate from school's house, and then the Channel 4 long play tapes.
Yeah.
They didn't get it when it didn't work for one of the Mania. I think it was only one Mania on Channel 4, wasn't there?
Video Plus cut off when Triple H is hitting the pedigree in the main event. It's this like shared UK experience of that show getting cut off there. My dad's big three, the barbershop, the Cobra on Randy Savage, and Tanker's heel turn. Yeah. And my mom's is seeing the constant replays of Foley coming off the cell. Because my dad was like, play that again, son? and my mom going, how was that fake then? Or something like, how would they fix that?
I don't think they did.
I don't think they did, Mum.
Just they threw a body at it.
Please don't stop me watching it. Can I have his book? Can I have this instruction manual of how to do it?
You're not going to do that. He's no, we'll just talk about it. Yeah. Anyway, let's get into New Year's Evil. They're at this shrine, as I said. We see people like, all the people fighting for the titles arriving. Roxanne, Giulia, Oba Femi, Eddie Thorpe, Trick Williams. The Rock shows up, though, in his pickup truck, and he jumps out and cracks a can of delicious Zoa Energy and mouths, "Let's do this, mother effer." And I thought, yes, sir.
That's all he's got in it. It's like me.
Zoa Energy.
Just swearing.
Zoa Energy is
Just
fantastic.
swearing.
You read a Zoa Energy?
Delicious.
What's your flavour notes from it?
What did we paired it with?
Hennessy.
Hennessy, yes, at Wale Mania, and it was, well, once it was, "Do you want any Zoa Energy with your Hennessy?" It got a little bit better after that because they were being very generous with their portions, but it was a good accoutrement.
I never had the Zoa. Like, it was one of the many sort of like affiliated free drinks that were kicking around. But I had a C2, and you should just stick that stuff in your car. Yeah, I was in real trouble.
C4, you mean?
Oh, yeah, I was in real trouble after a bit of that. Like, imagine getting given like free neon pop. I'm like, "I'm at WrestleMania, this gets no better." And I was like, I need a bin where this needs to go.
Get some of them in for the Rumble stream.
Nope.
On commentary, Vic Joseph thankfully has someone else other than Booker T with him. Corey Graves joins, and what a team they were when Corey Graves got the chance to talk.
Like, you know, when you...
We get it. You want to be cool, Corey.
But you know,
You've
when
been doing this for 10 years. I'll
rest-
never think you're cool, so please stop.
like the wrestlers that obviously don't watch NXT, which this one in the main event, and like obviously they couldn't know, "It's brilliant here, like I've been watching
The passion.
and they're always lying. Like, Corey Graves is clearly also lying, because if he did watch NXT, he would know exactly what I had to deal with. He sounded surprised at how bad Booker T was,
And he commentated next to him. There's
Yeah.
a famous gif of him going, "What?"
There's this real sort of sense from Vic Joseph of, thank God somebody's actually witnessing this. And Corey's like, "Shut the fuck up, Booker." No, he won't. This is what he does.
Yeah, he loved Stephanie Vaquer last night, didn't he?
Yeah.
Anyway, to start the show was the NXT Women's Championship match. It was Roxanne Perez versus Giulia. Fun sort of counters, reversals early on. And then Roxanne Perez ruins the mood, slapping Giulia across the face, so she just headbutts her. As we go to the first break, Perez targets Giulia's arm, stamps on it whilst it's draped over the turnbuckle. Come back, Roxanne hits a Frankensteiner off the ropes, gets a near fall from that, and targets the arm. But Giulia comes back with a nice super butterfly suplex off the top rope and a sit-out tombstone pile driver. Perez counters, puts in a crossface, but after Giulia gets out of it, Perez goes for pop rocks. Giulia escapes, eats a drop kick. They spill to the outside. Giulia hits Perez with a Northern Lights bomb on the floor. They tease that double count out. Cora Jade runs in to hoy her friend back into the ring, and Giulia just breaks the count. Perez goes to win with a Fujiwara armbar, but Giulia escapes, hits Perez with a knee strike. Northern Lights bomb. 1, 2, 3. Giulia dethrones Roxanne Perez. She is your new champion.
Really good, this, I thought. Really, really good. So much better than the first match they had, where it was in that time where, I don't just want to say that the job is done, but it did feel like Giulia was having a few growing pains in NXT in general. It wasn't just like the matches. There was that week where she couldn't get in the ring. When her and Stephanie Vaquer were doing that run, there was like a few things where you're like, what's going on here? Like, has she forgotten, like, whatever it was? That seems to be gone, because this was really, really slick. They had really good chemistry. A little bit of it could be Roxanne Perez's prodigious ability to use their words with like the dark arts, because that's something she's always been good at from the day she arrived in NXT. And I'd never seen this like indie standout Roxy, but it was immediately obvious in NXT what she had over the rest of everybody else at the time. And a hell of a way for her, probably, like, all joking, like a hell of a way for her to end a run. The way that NXT champions used to go out all the time, when it was just, you do this and then you leave. It's a little bit different now. People do sometimes stick around unexpectedly when they've lost the title or whatever. This feels like a...
Better not.
This feels like her exit path.
Party planning, is it?
What?
Is it party planning for when Roxanne Perez goes up to the main roster?
I'm going to throw a party, but I'm going to bring in a margarita, I think.
Ooh. Can we have some? One of those watermelon ones?
I'm bringing a watermelon into the office, mate.
Buy from Tesco.
You can...
I'll bring you watermelon.
Can you bring us like a little... what are they called?
I don't know, your far more experience of this sort of thing.
What do we... A hand blender. Stick blender.
Oh, I might have one of those for
Bring them in. Bring it all.
Eric's food. He won't need that.
I'm making alcohol at work.
I'm bringing the stuff, not Meg. If you bring in the watermelon, I can maybe bring in the rest of the stuff.
Okay.
Proper got me on the Pop Rocks near fall.
Yeah.
And there was something really cool at the end what was it that I loved? That was what it was. It reminded me. Do you remember the match Bianca Belair had? It was the 4-weight takeover New York, and they did it another time in NXT in the women's division as well, where a wrestler for a split second looks like they can't quite decide what to do for the best, but it feels real. It's not like they've forgotten the spot. It's not you. They still look like the footwork's all right, but it's just like, what have I got? What do I do right now? They incorporated that.
I don't know what the to do.
They incorporated that into the finish of like, because Giulia had survived the pot rocks, got out with the submission, and then there was a brief moment where it was like, now's my chance, now's my window, bang, got it done. Best possible start to crown Giulia as well.
Yeah.
Like those extra couple of months have genuinely helped. It turned out that the kind of the cheap way that Roxanne won was like a blessing in disguise a little bit, and Giulia's, I think, rebounded really well from that. Strong stuff, best thing on the show. Best Fed match I've watched this week.
Best thing on the show by a mile. The rarest of thing happened in this match, well, when I was watching it anyway, is it got to the finish and went, is it that?
Well, it lost time, didn't it?
I know. It probably would have gone longer had Dwayne not Dwayne'd. But I distinctly thought, they were reaching a peak and obviously got truncated for the reasons that we know it got truncated. But I thought part of that was, well, I was really enjoying the match. The byproduct was, and I sound like this is not NXT chat at all. Some of the limb work went a little bit missing in the selling as a result, because it was like, right, get to the finish, go home. There's a lot to get through on this show. But my God, anytime it's a nice bit of, I don't know if it was intentional, but anytime someone stamps on someone's hand in NXT, I start to really feel something. Even if it didn't get completely paid off or sold immaculately in this match, I just love to see someone's hand getting stamped in an
I used to love
NXT
the
ring.
Shayna elbow. I used to love that.
I used to love that.
Much.
The Bailey Sasha Law, as a fan of Aja Kong as well. Like, she was amazing at it. Just more stamping on hands, please. I thought that usually Roxanne Perez does that. I'm going to do some chain wrestling just because I can, and that's what I do. And it doesn't really lead anywhere, and it's more just, I'm better at this. I'm an actual wrestler than anybody else. It gets a bit much. She's not so good at it where she kind of must do it every single time.
That training school thing where it's like, you put this in chapter 1 of your match.
Yeah.
You don't need to every time. It doesn't always serve.
She does it, and I think it's more self-conscious than anything that informs the story of the match, but it was executed well. The real body of the match, as opposed to the finish, and that very familiar opening exchange, I thought was really, really strong.
Really excited to see what happens with Giulia as champ next. But we go backstage after this. Eddie Thorpe's been attacked again. But Ava, she hasn't got the surname. She's Rock's daughter and general manager of NXT, of course. She's not buying it this time. And she basically says, I don't care. It's a triple threat. See there. Trainers fix him up, I suppose.
Did you think it was going to be The Rock? I thought it was going to be The Rock, where he's like, cried wolf, and he cried rock.
Yeah. It felt like it was leading you to think that.
But he interacted with somebody else.
Yeah, and then it doesn't happen. He doesn't care.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
Not a thing.
We get a video package of the Pillmanizing of poor Javon Evans by Ethan Page. And then we get Evans talking through a jaw wired shut, saying he can't eat, sleep, or talk, but he's going to find him for what he did to Cedric last week as well, and what he did to him. And he's going to make Ethan feel his pain.
It's not as on the nose as you would imagine wrestling to be. Not like a babyface's jaw being wide shut, you would think would be for like an LA Knight or something, whereas talking's arguably the most powerful weapon. That's not the case with John Evans, but nonetheless, I quite like this as a unique injury for a wrestler to have, and something that, like, it's a glowing red body part for when the match happens, even if, you know, it's not maybe as traditional. Like, people have worked jaws and mouths in the past, but this now has got a totally different energy when they have the rematch. And it's just quite a nice and interesting way to sell an injury angle and a comeback story. There's a lot. It was very easy to be sympathetic. He's so young. Someone this young shouldn't be experiencing something like that through doing what they love. And it doesn't relate to his offense in any way, but it'll definitely work in the match.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how it gets sold. I'm not. It's interesting though. Like, someone gets a knee hit, submissions in it. What do you do with your face?
I'm just amazed, like, Rocked in that promo.
It'll be rubbish.
Rock that promo. Hey, you did that mouth guy stuff. He's not even watched.
Yeah.
Like, he's very quickly heard something about a jaw. Yeah, can't believe you got it. You hit his lips.
Then we got a number one contenders match for the NXT Women's North American title. I say sort of because it's something that will happen later on in this show.
I feel like we flagged that potential problem up in the preview, didn't we?
Yes. Yeah. It's Cora Jade, Lola Vice, Kalani Jordan, and Stephanie Vaquer. Cora Jade, for some reason, thinks it's a good idea to just mouth off to the rest of them. So they all just take turns beating her up. To take us to a break, we have Lola and Stephanie Vaquer brawling on the outside. Kalani dives onto them, and then Cora dives onto Kalani to take us to a break. We come back. Vaquer hits a Meteora on Cora. Lola gets a sleeper, but Vaquer stop that. Lola gets kicked down. Some damn respect. Lola with those kicks of hers. To Kalani Jordan, a hip smash to Stephanie. Cora's on the outside. Vaquer knocks Lola to the floor, goes up top, dives onto them. Then Kalani hits a great moonsault onto everyone on the outside. Rolls Vaquer in, goes up top. High crossbody, but Vaquer rolls through for a 2 count.
That's Charlotte Flair moonsault.
It was a Charlotte Flair moonsault, but it was a Rob Van Dam body press. The spring on that body press was great. But yeah, she kind of did that thing where she's like, "Oh, I'm still rolling," like on the moonsault. Oh my god, you better catch me because I don't know where I'm going to land.
Yeah. Land on my feet, not on you.
The finish sees Lola Vice eat a knee from Cora Jade. Jade takes an Olympic slam from Jordan. Jordan goes for a 450, but Cora Jade moves, and Stephanie Vaquer comes in, hits her finisher on Kalani Jordan, and for the time being becomes the number one contender.
Just moves, and not many of them were best in class. So, I know it's developmental, but that's, I think, a fair criticism of matches like this, where it's like...
It's every match, mate.
Well, but like you say, if you're going to have a four-way where everybody just gets to get the in, it's like, who's really doing the best? And that's why I highlight the body press from Kalani Jordan, because I thought she had a moment of it. It was always Stephanie Vaquer's match to win. Yeah. And it just... I don't know. I think, on paper, this is how they think they need to present this women's division. I would actually disagree. I don't think you need many matches like this because ultimately it lowers the level. You can hide more in a singles match in this women's division, which isn't traditionally how it would work. It would be like, we can, like Cora Jade, not very good, right? But if she can lock into a character, execution matters less, and then that character carries a singles match more than her trying to like keep up spot-wise in a match. So it didn't really work for me, this. You could see what they were trying to do. You could see the wires. Only Stephanie Vaquer's star power, not her moves, kind of put her above the rest.
I'm amazed you got that many words out on this. It was two versions of every match I've ever seen. It was every NXT match and every four-way match. Just some moves, not even that good. Just some moves, not even that good. Blup, blup, blup.
Right result, Stephanie Vaquer winning.
I will say, even though it's got permutations with Shotzi, delaying the Giulia Stephanie Vaquer money match is a good idea.
Yeah. Them as the, like, I know there's probably going to be some creative overlap, but them as the two champions, you want to look at for a bit, don't you?
Yeah.
Because the idea isn't, well, neither. How do you stop either of those? How do you get anywhere? And it really puts over whoever manages to ascend.
Think of them basically doing the whole first hour as women's matches.
Well, like, fine, because you could do a whole 2 hours on NXT and it wouldn't feel like you were trying to make a point. You could do it on NXT and it wouldn't be Evolution 2. It would just be an episode of NXT.
It did not stand out to me at all. It's like NXT deserves way more credit for just normalizing the idea that there's total parity. And until you pointed that out, if they'd done this on Dynamite or even Raw, I'd be like, oh, bloody hell. Mm-hmm. They're phoning this in, obviously, not because of the talent, but because of their process and what their mentality of how they book women. But until you mentioned that, Wilbourn, I didn't bat an eye.
What about these three matches? Like, what isn't related to the stories and some of the contenders and everything they're doing on television? Do you know what I mean? Everything had a purpose. Nothing was, like I say, if this was if the New Year's Eve was all women's matches, it wouldn't feel like you were watching some Evolution 2 statement show. It would just be, well, it's because there's enough characters that are involved in stuff to justify it.
Speaking of which, Ava's backstage with the Unholy Union. She confirms the number one contenders match for the women's tag titles next week. Sarah walks up to ask her about Eddie, and she says Eddie's faking. Oba Femi walks in and goes, no, I attacked him. And she's like, well, it's still a triple threat. Oba's like, fine by me.
Which, Oba Femi's cool, and he's about to win the belt, and great. But in an angle and a match in general that felt a bit hastily rewritten, the whole thing, including maybe the backstage attack.
It's pretty odd, all this.
Like, could you not still have given it to The Rock? Because if the rewrite exists because he's here and you've got to find 15 minutes at the end of the show, well, guess what? There's no more logical wrestler to have done this than the one that you're having to tear everything up for. So just put your hands together. Like, I don't
think The Rock would want to have been seen even beating them up.
Yeah, the off-camera beating could have been credited to him, couldn't it? You could have.
Yeah.
I found that really strange.
Oh, The Rock's a strange man.
And it's like, well, we need 7 to 8 minutes cut from the main event. Well, you're gonna have to chuck a guy down the stairs. Then.
Yeah.
Rock's lost his mind, hasn't he?
Yes.
Did he ever have one?
He did have one, but he's lost it now.
You sure?
He's lost his mind for the business because he's done like none of it this week.
No.
Disagree. We see
I'm interested in your retorts.
Triple H and Nick Khan.
Oh my God.
As the front.
Yes, I got him. I knew I'd get him with that. You
Yes.
little piggy. Oh, piggy. I was as bad as him. There's a million things Mr. Levesque can give to me.
Corey Culkin was wearing a Papa hat. Just
Good
saying.
for him. Good for him.
Then we get the
I never thought about that.
NXT Focus, OTM.
He had a hard life, Macaulay Culkin.
OTM, number one contenders, of course. It's bloody Santa. Anyway, they're the number one contenders for the tag team titles. And Bronco and Lucien talk about how good and smooth Fraxium are in the ring. They've never been in a dogfight. They're going to make them feel pain. They've suffered through real-life problems whilst they're arguing like kids. 2025 is OTM's year, and they're going to drag Fraxium through the mud. OTM.
Might be good. It's great having champions like Fraxium for that. Might be good. You might not expect it to be good. You might not really like the wrestlers they're going up against, and it might be good.
I mean, it's probably going to be good. They're very good.
Yeah. Big lads as well. If it works anything like it did when they fought the NQCC.
Yeah. Like, they don't feel credible challengers, but you'll enjoy the match.
But any match now feels
Well,
like,
yeah.
uh-oh.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that next week. Yes, it's like tag team week next week. Then came Gigi Dolin, Tatum Paxley, and Shotzi taking on Fatal Influence, that being, of course, the Women's North American champion Fallon Henley, Jasmine Nix, and JC Jane.
But it's kind of like versus There's like, it's major and minor key match, this, isn't it? Because that's basically what the baby faces are as well. Nice influence.
Fatal Influence jumped them during the entrances. Tatum Paxley gets beaten down as
I like that Fatal Influence entrance. It's really dumb. Like, we've all got clothes we can throw on the camera. And then it ends with JC Jane doing all the face.
Yeah.
Tatum takes out JC, Fallon takes out Tatum, and Shotzi hits a suplex on Fallon on the outside to take us to a break. When we come back, they're working over Paxley. She gets the hot tag to Gigi Dolin, and then they start hitting double teams. There's a belly-to-back suplex, neck breaker combo to Henley. Dolin and Paxley hit dives, and Shotzi hits "Welcome to the Ball Pit" to pin the Women's North American champion Fallon Henley.
An over-delivery this, because I thought it was going to absolutely stink, and it was just fine. Like,
That's always mediocre.
It felt unaffected by The Rock.
Yeah, because it's always
they're,
going to be cut to pieces. Yeah.
I mean, these matches just go a short amount of time and no one really improves that much, and then they just end.
Yeah, but the idea of Shotzi winning or getting that specific pinfall, like, it's still tied to the hierarchy, and it's then, as you would get later on, it's still tied to, well, like, the belt means something, the division can support the secondary title, that kind of thing. I like Fallon Henley a lot, and she's still not quite putting it all
This
together.
time last year,
But like, it's,
we all remember.
It's...
Look where Tiffany's gone from there.
Oh, don't get me started. Nice bit in the news today.
From the gutter to the stars.
From the stables to the
But
stable.
that's it, you can do the stable stipulation again, but this time, like, heel stables.
Oh my God.
Heel horses.
Imagine if someone else falls in a bucket.
If it's Fallon Henley,
You are such a...
that becomes the new way that people leave NXT. They fall in a bucket. And then off they go. And the bucket is a portal to the main roster.
Like the Mysterios had that one time.
Yeah.
Why have you never used that again?
You know it was bad. It wasn't even good slapstick, easy comedy.
We all laughed about it, I remember.
Yes.
That's no sold it.
Ava is berating Ethan Page for, making one of the wrestlers have to have their jaw wired shut. And he's like, funny that, Ava, because it's been played on NXT ever since, and yet I'm not on New Year's Evil. She says, I'm calling the shots, and Ethan talks some trash, and then, Daddy's here! The Rock walks in, stares down Ethan Page, and says it's good to meet him. He's heard a lot about him. Not all good.
Because he's heard absolutely nothing.
replied to that tweet, didn't he, a few years ago?
Yeah.
Oh, did he?
5 years in the making.
It's like, I think it's
okay.
There's this tiny element of law where it feels like either Ethan Page has made the request or maybe Shawn Michaels has flagged it up. God knows what, but there's a tiny little.
Oh yeah, a great deal of history between the two men. Page says Javon Evans deserved it.
I was trying to be nice and hands up. I was wrong.
Thank you. Rock brings up.
I can't wait for this main event, buddy.
Oh, me too. He talks about Ethan breaking someone's jaw.
I want you, assignment. I want you to talk about this main event segment on its own terms, rather than what it means for the future with Jacobium. Okay,
it's about the future. He referenced. He's 20 steps ahead of you, mate. Rock tells Paige that Payback's going to be a bitch, and he says, "I heard you broke a guy's wrist." And Paige is like, "Fingers." He's like, "Yeah, whatever."
What is it about the Rock and fingers, man? He just can't do the.
Yeah.
What
is it that one he did?
He doesn't know what they are.
Yeah.
The Rock is a human Turcarino.
Oh, hang on. Remember the L?
Yeah.
You know why, guys? It's actually, even if you're arguing, it's actually really clever. Even if he's going for that, no, it isn't. And two, has he turned on a...
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Did L sign Rock, because I'm with the losers, the bloodline, I'm going to turn on them. Did he turn on the bloodline?
Not once, not ever.
Not yet. Even I didn't argue that.
Yes,
by the
I
way.
know.
That's the line. He says, "Hey, broke a guy's wrist, fingers, whatever." He says, "I'm the final boss." Yes, he's back. But on NXT, Ava's the final boss.
How pathetic.
Oh, so pathetic. For f***ing hell's sake, it's your daughter.
She been daughter.
She been daughter.
Put her over. She needs something, mate. You think her jaw's
she didn't need anything. She shouldn't have a job.
Well,
she shouldn't have this job. Well, should she?
No.
Exactly. Thank you. Just why? No one's gonna think, Rock, that you're not this big, cool, muscly guy, right? No one's gonna think that you've shriveled or that you're not really funny and cool. If you were to just show some ass, just show a little bit of ass, and just say, "Call me the final boss. I'm nothing compared to her." It's your daughter.
Ethan Page could have said, "Oh, good to meet you, final boss." He's like, "I'm not that."
Around these parts, I'm not the final boss. Yeah.
You know, I'm the biggest boss. I got the fattest dick. But guess what?
Sexiest man alive.
Sexiest man alive. I got the fattest dick. I'm the big boss. I'm the final boss. I'm the hardest man. I'm cool. I'm really funny as well. But, you know, sometimes it's her. Sometimes
She's the assistant to the regional final boss.
Yes. What a dick.
What a dick.
I'm the final boss. Cock's so big. But
There's a women in socks like pressing down on my knob.
It's a curse. It's a curse. It's a curse. But around here, I guess it's
I feel so validated right now. Just want you to know that.
He just like probably go. The one guy is definitely not. It's Shawn Michaels. That guy's like on TV.
Anyway,
he's lost it, hasn't
he has f***ing lost it. So have I.
It's good stuff.
Not least the swear bar at this rate, brother.
Oh god. Blame your boy.
So Paige, Rock says, "I'll see you on the main roster someday." I doubt that'll happen. But Paige leaves and Rock slaps him on the ass as he leaves. Ava says, "It's been a crazy day. I've not really had a chance to talk, actually. What are you going to say out there?" And he's like, "I don't know. Got any advice?"
I'm scared. I'm the Rock and I'm scared. What? No, you're not.
Ava says, "This."
I mean, you should have been, and maybe you were.
Ava says, "This NXT crowd's passion's different. When you get out there, you'll feel what to say." And they fist bump. Ava leaves, and Rock's like, "Oh, I don't know what the flip to say."
What? This is so weird. I can't even begin to analyze it. Because the idea of The Rock going out in front of the most ardent, performative... I mean, they make noise for Level Up.
Yeah.
These fans who go to NXT shows, I think they're probably going to be marking out for The Rock. The idea, right? The idea that The Rock would be flustered by going out in front of an NXT crowd was I couldn't comprehend that they would insult my intelligence by making me think that The Rock was flustered and nervous.
He'd hosted at the Golden Globes.
Yeah. Sorry. The idea that The Rock would be flustered and nervous and not know what to say in front of the NXT crowd when he's The Rock was ridiculous. Fast forward to the main event and he was flustered and didn't know what to say.
Everyone by that passion.
Just asking friggin' Ava how to cut a promo. Is he going to ask Jenna Maraska how to do the rock bottom? Like, you know he's not got the finger on the pulse when he thinks she can talk.
I've heard a lot of good things.
Yeah.
From who?
Have you been watching, Dad? Yeah. Well, then why are you asking me if I can talk?
It's like me and Wilbourn.
Yeah, I saw it. Imagine she goes around to Dad's at Christmas time or something. You know, on Netflix when you watch the show, there's like the red bar, like Raw. All the Raws he's been on, red bar, NXT, just unviewed.
Are you sure you don't want to watch NXT? Yes, I'm sure.
I watch WhatCulture Wrestling, so shut up.
Then it was time for the Sudden Death Heritage Cup match. It was Charlie Dempsey versus Lexis King. Dempsey works the arm early on. King fights back. He targets the arm as well. Dempsey gets sent to the floor with a drop kick, and there's a dive to take us to a break. When we come back, King gets a 2 count off a Northern Light suplex, but Dempsey goes back after the arm, puts him in an arm bar, but King powerbombs his way to freedom. They bump heads. Dempsey tries a leapfrog, and Lexis King accidentally headbutts him low and goes, well, I'll take it, hits the coronation, and regains, I think. We're all a bit confused because we missed all this over Christmas.
Yeah.
Regardless, Lexis King is the Heritage Cup champion.
So he won it in a similar vein. Ava took it off him. It's not in the spirit of the Heritage Cup. Might happen again because even the referee was like, I mean, it was in his dick and balls, but, you know, like, do you know, this was serviceable. Like, low bar's evil. This was serviceable. Gold star Lexis King for your serviceable wrestling match, however many years in. And another thing that probably benefited from having a few minutes shaved off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still bad, isn't he?
He wasn't good, but he just wasn't bad in this.
What's William Regal going to make of all this?
What's his involvement in any of this?
I think he just likes the Heritage Cup.
Right. Yeah.
No, I think we still don't know who Charlie Dempsey's dad is.
No.
There's a lot who done
It's
it
a
in wrestling.
mystery.
They should really do one. Like, NXT Anonymous should get on this.
It's just the surname. I think next week
Dempsey.
We'll do some research, yeah.
There's a clue in the surname of Dempsey.
Dempsey's Dad Detectives. You love alliteration. That's what we could be, the Dempsey's Dad Detectives.
Ava's there with...
Dempsey's Dadly Detectives.
Yes.
There you go.
Love that.
Now it's good.
I wish we did bits because that'd be a great one.
Oh. Ava's with Stephanie
More
Vaquer
D's than...
and Fallon Henley. Shotzi comes in because she's setting up the title match, obviously. Shotzi's like, well, I think you'll find I pinned Fallon Henley, so I think I should get a North American title shot. I was like, yeah, but she just won a number one contenders match. But no, Vaquer quite rightly says I've beaten top 3 women in this division. Fallon says, you know what, I think you two should just figure it out and leaves. And so we get the match set up between Shotzi and Stephanie Vaquer.
It's like Bron Breakker being asked to work the 12-minute 2003 Goldberg main event as a, can you do this yet? Like Stephanie Vaquer. I mean, Shotzi Blackheart, can you make this good?
Yeah.
That's all right. Let's have a look at that. Let's see if she can.
Unfortunately, I have to.
Well, I want to... Oh, sorry. Bloody hell. I've got to take this. It's Sam from Sweet Chin Disco. They got that talk.
Yeah, you sound, man. You're just ringing back.
Yeah, no, but I want to make sure because, you know, it's Mark Henry and all that. And tickets are available, by the way. I'm going to take this. You talk more about how much you're excited for Shotzi Blackheart versus... Hello, mate.
It's the hospital passes that I resent more than I'm leaving the podcast at this point.
I mean, I have to contractually preview a Shotzi Blackheart match next week. I don't want to do that twice.
Yeah.
Should we talk about something else?
What do you fancy talking about?
All right, Cody Rhodes.
Coming up the anniversary of that promo, you know. Like, it's only going to have been 3 years. It feels like 10, doesn't it? The brown jacket, the ladder in the background. FTR, CM Punk, everything sucks. Everybody.
So it goes, was like Brody King got a lot of nerve coming into this place with your ring name that you've been
Who's next on my list of enemies?
I'm leaving, so we're not doing the CM Punk feud. So I'm just going to say I did it and he didn't. So I will see you later.
Hey,
Staxy!
how's it going, guys? I couldn't help it. I was walking in here to swear there. I'm going to write that down for Willie because otherwise we'll be in real trouble here. But how's it going, guys? Hey, look at this retro merch I got on here, huh? Thoughts?
Of course, yeah. The new referee shirts have made it
You'll need
NXT
a new one,
now.
otherwise this will be a really strange...
Make no goddamn sense, would it? No.
You used to have a lovely coat, Stax. You used to have a lovely jacket.
I don't really need it right now.
But it's not the summer.
Got the old AC on the jet, obviously, and just hop up there.
I saw your videos.
Chilly, so much for the summer, eh? Sid, yeah?
I saw your
I
videos at
heard
Christmas.
Willie say that sometimes. I don't know if he...
You don't look like you get cold, Stax.
Did you watch the football last night, Stax?
I did. Hey, good win for these boys, huh?
Yeah?
That Alexander Isak. Maybe I'll do something on Sweden or something going forward, maybe.
Okay. Stax, when he gets shrinkage, does it go to the size of a normal cock?
Great question, Siggy. Yes. But hey, what a week this is, huh? Raw's debut on Netflix, New Year's Evil, SmackDown. What a week, huh? And of course, let's not forget, Siggy, International Choreographers Day tomorrow. Really looking forward to
I thought it was tonight.
But
Yeah, get it?
Sig, what is the deal with dance, huh?
Dance? Well, it's for years. Centuries, eons. Whenever music, even in its primitive forms, have been heard, people just... the urge to just dance, and, it's an expression of joy. It's an expression sometimes of heartbreak. It's a way into the heart of the ladies, or, wherever your inclinations lie. We do not judge on this podcast at all. You can dance ironically. You can dance with full earnestness. It's just something you do with your body when you hear the music.
I like it. But I've never got the point of a lap dance. That's my thing. I don't get it. I mean, if I wanted a woman to take my money and frustrate me sexually, I'd stay at home. 3 jokes, 3 questions for you. Sage, question joke number 1.
They're getting worse when they're not as blue.
Sage,
It's not funny.
what do exotic dancers call their colleagues, huh?
So, right. Strip.
Friends.
It's like...
Yeah, he's avoided saying certain words there.
Yeah, it's because you got to do it.
Lap dancers, strippers,
It's like
pole dancers, anything that rhymes with any of them that sounds a bit like friends.
Yeah, or and then I have to go to the synonyms of friends, like pals, mates, buddies.
Pal dancers. Like pole dancers, but pals.
Why not?
Not going to get it.
No.
Good night, right? What do exotic dancers call their colleagues? They're co-twerkers, huh? They're co-twerkers.
Right,
It's not bad.
Hamflett, question joke number 2.
Can't really tell that one to James.
Tell this one to James. Why do dancers wear loose trousers, huh? Why do dancers wear loose trousers?
Right, again, he said trousers. Stax is American, so he'd favour saying pants.
Could just be saying it for you Brits, huh?
Mr. Bean looking at
Pavements.
What are the
What's the setup again?
Aluminium.
What's it spelled differently? Do you know that?
We say it weird in my country.
No, it's because it's spelled differently.
Don't
They actually
answer.
spell it in America.
He doesn't know.
Aluminum.
He doesn't know nothing. What's the setup again, Stax?
Why did dancers wear loose trousers?
Our dancers, we're not even talking like lap dancers or anything. It's just regular dancers.
Regular dances.
Choreography.
Boogie.
Strictly cum dancing. Could be a third joke.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why did dancers wear loose trousers? For the ballroom. That's
good, that's good.
I like that one. I came up with it myself. Question joke number 3. Sage, why did I get kicked out of the dance? Huh? What's this dance? I got kicked out. Why?
Yeah. Why did I get kicked out of the dance?
What did he miss here as getting his dick and balls out?
Yeah,
Because that keeps happening to old Stacks.
Yeah. Why did I get kicked out of the dance? Something. It could be a Nancy joke here.
Oh.
Why did I get kicked out of the? Why did I get kicked out of the dance? Because I graduated from middle school 20 years ago. See you later, guys.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Yeah.
It could just be like the NXT dance. Doesn't have to be like a high school dance or nothing like that. Why don't you get kicked out of the NXT dance?
The NXT dance. Oh, we don't do bits,
I'd
unfortunately.
love the NXT dance to be.
I'm surprised you haven't done it.
Yeah, just a dance off on NXT.
No, just like a prom. Like an
summer
NXT prom, like a ball, yeah.
So like Fallon Henley's gone with one date, Brooks Jensen's gone with another, and for whatever reason the dates depart.
Oh my God.
And then it gets to the end of the night and there's a slow dance. It's like, well, I haven't got anybody to dance with, and either
and then like you go, ding, ding, ding. Can't remember the intro. If you must go, I'll give you love. And then what happens at the end of prom?
Sex.
full sex.
Full sex.
It's the erection section, but that's just Brooks walking around.
And then,
anybody.
then Nikita Lyons could be going all up against Ashanti the Adonis.
Mm-hmm. The NXT prom, man. They should do that.
You should do that.
They should do that.
So what's the setup?
Why did I get kicked out of the NXT dance?
Because you were molesting the people who were there.
Good night, right? Pretty goddamn close, actually, Sidge. I didn't get it. You see, I went to the dance, we're having a great time, me and the rest of the family, and they played jump. So, of course, I jumped. They played the twist. So I twisted. Then they played Come on Eileen. See you later, guys. Very good. Very good. Very, very good. Stacks.
Stacks is Midnight Runners.
Anyway, we should be polite, yeah.
Bye. Bye, Stacks.
Bye, Sam.
Sam?
Yeah.
Oh, because you were
Oh,
talking
that was
about...
Miss Stacks.
Yeah.
My friend Sammy have Sweet and Disco tickets still available for the tour. All over the country.
Yeah.
Other countries as well. What have I missed? You talked about the...
Oh, Stacks popped in.
So nice seeing him yesterday.
Some good jokes there.
All above board.
No, you might have to look. You might have to listen out.
Did he swear whilst I wasn't here? Because if anyone swore whilst I wasn't here, that'd be incredibly unprofessional.
No, Hamflett swore.
Oh, okay.
Stacks
but
as-
Stacks caught it.
Yeah, he's a colleague.
I see.
He's quite conscientious, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, in some respects.
Yeah.
Many public settings, apparently, he isn't.
Yeah.
So next is, of course,
Not sure I like that pivot for the character.
Yeah.
the sort of semi-main event of the evening, the NXT Championship match. It was Trick Williams versus Oba Femi versus, eventually, Eddie Thorpe.
Oh, weird crap.
Yeah. Weird crap.
Weird trap crap.
I enjoyed it. No Eddie Thorpe to start the match. Singles match between Trick and Oba.
I get worked by that dude's entrance every time.
Yeah.
He seems like he's ready. He's got the world at his feet. It's his. If you can just grab it, grab a hold. You can't do anything really. Yeah, I mean, he bummed for Oba Femi.
Yeah.
He got out of Oba Femi's way when Oba Femi did the charge to the shoulder. It was the charge to the post.
Yeah.
It's just boring, innit?
Yeah. They gave you quite a bit of a singles match here, which begs the question. And then obviously the finish happens. Just book that then. Like,
Unless like you've said, they are going back to this.
Well, there's no way. There's no way back.
Well, even if you were gonna and look, rematches happen, that's fine. But
Why was
even
Eddie
if-
Thorpe involved?
Even if you're gonna argue for the rematch, this match made me want that less too. Like, let's say Eddie Thorpe gets pinned and this is a better three-way, and you've just sort of seen glimpses of what the singles match could be. There would at least be like a sales pitch for it. This was the opposite of that. This was like, we'll do away with a lot of it. They'll probably do it again.
Yeah.
I think they will. But
This is so odd. It was exactly the way you didn't think it would go.
yeah,
Wherein you got Trick versus Oba Femi for all intents and purposes. It was pretty drab. And then Eddie Thorpe was a non-factor, and they didn't even give Trick a narrative out. Not that I'm campaigning for that. God
No.
damn it. I'm sick of wrestling and this rubbish, carny, cop-out rubbish. I was going to say crap there, but that would have been 3 C's. I mean, no alliteration is the work of... But yeah, didn't even really... Like, Trick can't say, I got screwed or
no.
whatever.
Otherwise, he's a complainer because it
Yeah.
was within the rules of a triple threat.
Got his ass kicked.
It doesn't feel like 24 hours after we booked it. It doesn't feel like the stand and deliver main event. There's Vengeance Day. There's various specials that you can do this, but that's 4 months away. Yeah. They're not getting this there, are they?
February 15th.
Yeah,
big day. Grand Slam and Vengeance Day on the same day. But yes, Oba Femi powers.
What are you watching first?
AW.
Because it's in the morning.
Is it Vengeance Day? They're running that building that Dynamite ran. That because I remember like the
lick your ass in it.
No, is it the entertainment and sports?
Old Wilbourn wrestling.
Yeah.
Like the entertainment and sports thing in Washington.
Oh,
Dynamite
yeah.
ran. It was hot for Dynamite, so they're running there.
If you haven't seen it, by the way, well worth checking out. We did a video, me, Sidge, and Murray.
On the main channel.
On the main channel, released over Christmas, booking our own federations, which was a lot of fun.
This is loads of fun, eh?
I know you finished top, but who finished bottom?
Is it me?
I'm just saying because what you called your fed.
Oh, yeah, anal. It's a new level.
Fuck me.
You know. Trick Williams hit Femi with
Do it on purpose, I swear to God.
It's just when we was in, we got the and ANL. What? Brilliant reveal. So yeah,
Lube up and lock in.
there's a Samoan driver from Trick Williams to get a 2 count as we go to a break. When we come back, we see Eddie Thorpe making his way through the backstage area, holding a metal chair. Femi and Trick are going at it in the ring. There's a super rock bottom from Trick Williams for a near fall. They go back and forth. Trick fires up, but Femi blocks his knee strike. Trick counters Femi's finisher, hits a big boot for another near fall. There's a sit-out powerbomb by Oba Femi on Trick, covers him, and then suddenly Thorpe appears, pulls the referee out to break up that pin. He's got his chair. Femi just starts chucking people around as he always does. Beats up Eddie Thorpe. There's a nice false finish, though, because after he's dealt with Eddie Thorpe, he turns around into the trick shot from Trick Williams for a nice 2 count. Femi kicks out. Trick goes for another one, but Femi moves, and Trick and Thorpe with the chair all collide, and Oba Femi hits the fall from grace. 1, 2, 3, your new NXT champion.
I've got certain admiration for how committed they were with Oba Femi in terms of pinning Trick, kicking out his finisher, coming back from like apparent defeat, and then
Eddie Thorpe got on the way.
Dominating again. But to everything else we've said, it does kind of make it a bit weird.
I feel like they're just doing it so they can say, well, there's your first easy challenge, obvious first defense.
I also thought
against Eddie Thorpe, who's going to bitch and moan again.
Yeah, you'll get his. Yeah, that's true. Optics wise, I have no real problem with them bringing the 2 champions together to kind of like proclaim new era. But that's how you take your show
Tony
off.
Khan make that graphic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It was like instant.
Straight up there. But that's how the show should go off the air if you're doing that.
Well,
it's almost like, again, optics wise, I think it's like the new era starts at NXT, but nothing compared to what's going on.
What were they going to do if there was just a 1 title change? In real life, kayfabe, whatever.
It just ends with Oba Femi and fireworks and pyro.
Okay.
But
that's dumb, innit? Wrestling's dumb.
Wrestling is dumb.
Great visual.
That's how you end a show
Yeah,
when you're trying to make a point of new era, new stars.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I was looking through the photos from NXT, and it did end there. It ended with the 2 champions. I don't know why there was no photos of the real main event.
Interesting, that, isn't it?
Weird that.
Do you know the story, Sidge?
What's
You
happening?
know what he's getting at there? Well, did you know The Rock is the final boss?
Yeah.
Well, I only learned this. Was it you that told me this, Nicholas, yesterday?
I've known about this, yeah.
Yes, you've
He, when he's on a show and then the Fed puts pictures up a few hours later, whatever. Very good for when you're doing content. Not the Rock's ones, because he wants final approval of the final boss, and they appear like hours/days later when he's got around to checking through and seeing his favourite ones.
I love him.
So yes, to close the
He's
show,
most insecure man live. He is the most insecure man in wrestling, and Dax Harwood's in wrestling.
And Triple H.
Yeah, I know. They're all the thin as skin. Been freaking having, eh? What's a thin thing?
paper.
Yeah. Go with that?
Paper thin skin.
Yeah.
So if you smell, out comes The Rock. Huge pap, obviously. Yeah, he's there. Rocky. He got that goosebump. We all have. We're all watching this with goosebumps. And he points out, was it he had a Pro Wrestling is Real or something? He pointed someone's shirt out in the crowd. He gives us a tee-hoo! Did that earlier as well. It's great. He's got chills all over his body. This is crazy, he says. Got him all emotional, in fact. And they've got a timer there. He's like,
Pissed.
This is embarrassing.
This is embarrassing.
Well, wait for it. You've got 6 minutes and 33 seconds, but it's going to be the best 6 minutes. He says, I've had a lot of nicknames. People's champion, most electrifying man, the sexiest man alive.
And I mean,
He's off.
folks, where's the lie?
That was so funny.
Hang on. Isn't officially John Krasinski the sexiest man alive?
Maybe.
I think he got voted.
Really?
Do you know who's getting all of praise for being sexy all over social? Did you see Andrew Garfield?
Oh, I did
With
see
the
this.
glasses.
Oh my god.
I mean,
You need to see
he
this.
looks pretty good.
Do you hear the story? I don't know why I saw this randomly on X or Reels or whatever. I think it was John Krasinski. He's the one married to Emily Blunt, correct?
Yeah. The one who completely ruined kids' films with,
Yeah, it was bad.
what's it called?
If.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen this yet.
Stick
So
to
that's got in the
stupid-
future for me.
You'll never see
Stick
it
to
because...
doing stupid faces down the camera.
Yeah. It won't be like on the streamers by the time that Eric's old enough to maybe want to watch it. It's just not going to be one of those ones that's going to cut through, is it?
No,
Like
no, you're wrong.
Okay.
It's going to come so cheap that I'll be on all of them.
Oh yeah, those
there's
ones that are
certain-
just how's a film been made that's this bad landed on a major streamer and it's like because it was nothing.
There's certain
yeah.
films I just on all of them.
Yeah.
Is
So
it?
it was all right.
Spookily, the square pumpkin was on my kids' liked around Halloween season. It is piss poor. When they were very little, they
You know
loved
what's
it.
weird?
What's that?
Controversy to that. You know what's on everything? Like literally Heat.
Yes.
It's class, but
Yeah,
it's on everything.
unbelievable.
I think it's just one of them ones that like lapsed or maybe that people
Not
could just-
Sunday Night Heat.
No,
No.
that'll be coming to Netflix hopefully sooner or later.
Yeah,
Some
network's
gems
there.
on Sunday Night Heat. The things we like. Imagine me like stoving into the ball now and chat on Twitter about like the things we lost when the network went down. Right, guys, Sunday Night Heat. I miss it too. I wish I'd done that now.
I know.
But yeah, like you say, he is a piece, Krasinski. But apparently, he told this story about when he was presumably coming to the UK and they're like checking the passport. They're like, "Oh, what are you here for?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm here to see family." He's like, "Oh, I'm here to see my wife. In fact, you might know her actually. She's." And he's like, "Oh, right, who is it?" It's like Emily Blunt. Apparently, the passport bloke went, "You." Like, peace. Yeah.
He's got that. He had that dorky handsome thing going on in the office.
I always love your story about your missus watching the whole story of The Office.
Yeah. And my missus said I should have gone with Karen. She was fitter than Pam.
Will they, won't they? When will they? Basically, from Mrs. Sidgwick.
I'll say this for your wife. Like they were bold enough to just script Karen as nice.
Yeah,
They didn't just make her this like that heel that like, oh God, get out of the way. Sort of thing.
yeah.
There was none of that for like a Will.
Just
Will,
like this
weren't
really
there?
nice
person.
very
yeah.
conventionally attractive
Yeah.
woman.
Yeah, so he's the sexiest man alive. As you're probably beating pie eating, trailblazing, eyebrow raising, final boss, The Rock.
He's added a new thing because you bought all the stock, The Rock. I don't know if you were aware, he's actually the proper boss.
Yeah. Not Eva. Don't get confused, guys.
But he needs us to help him out with something. Last year, everywhere he went, everyone's saying, "Why are you being so mean to Cody? Don't be mean to Cody." And then a year later, on Netflix, on Raw, amazing night, historic night. He wanted to give props to Cody. He's been kicking ass all year. And then they said, "Oh, you can't be nice to Cody. Don't just drink tequila with him." He said, at the end of the day, let's remind them all, The Rock is the final boss, and he stays 20 steps ahead. Everyone should know their role, shut their mouth, and enjoy the ride.
Oh my god.
But also, thanks for coming out. I love you so much. I'm passionate.
When he changes his mind, either in 3 years or 2 weeks before WrestleMania this year, there's going to be a load of people going, "See, it was a plan." And you're going to be at the front of that.
That's where you come in.
What about, before this bit that you are trying to sell that you genuinely believe is real?
My notes seem to say The Rock sets the record straight. Yes, carry on.
What about the rest of his terrible delivery and content?
Yeah, come on.
Well, here,
Yeah.
he's overwhelmed by the passion from the NXT universe. What are you not getting?
Now I see why your parents were bothered that you were going to be a lawyer. Because
Now I
you're
know why his parents didn't have a second kid.
such a tremendous actor.
I think that's enough, yeah.
He's a lawyer,
When
liar.
do you think they gave up the dream of me being a lawyer with a defence like that? It's the passion of the NXT universe, Your Honour.
For some reason, when you were, 17, 18, they were still disappointed.
Yeah,
at
they
you.
were pushing for it. I did law as an A-level.
Maybe I know why. You know why, though?
Why?
I don't think it was necessarily your own individual abilities or, credentials. It was like their only shot of having a lawyer kid. because they didn't have like a sibling, a better option.
Yes.
Imagine like there's been like a sort of 4-week case. The nation's eyes are on this. It's the biggest trial in the country, and lawyer Wilbourn will make his closing argument today, and he marches up and down the jury, kind of waiting for him to speak, and he looks at them all, tries to catch all their eyes at the same time at one glance. Need I say more?
I thought you were going to say, what's the deal with manslaughter?
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, 3 questions, 3 jokes about murder.
You've kind of ended up in law, though, haven't you? Like,
I suppose.
LORE.
Yes, indeed.
A law degree.
Finally, you can be proud of me.
Bloodline 101.
Oh, he's become a radio presenter. Oh, well.
That's a good job. Yeah, you're a broadcast professional.
Nah, this is a way better job. I hear some of the marks on the radio nowadays.
You're like a grifter podcast.
I told you about something. I tell him sometimes I come in and hear some links on the radio and I'm like, Jesus Christ, anything goes back now.
What the hell happened?
What the hell happened to this goddamn business?
I remember the first time I heard a DJ filling a link by describing what was happening on a YouTube video, and it's like, you are describing what's potentially going to put you out of business, mate. Figure this out. Be better. Guys, you got to check out this YouTube video. It's at https://youtube.com/QX4P.
Remind me, I got something to let you know after this podcast, but I daren't do it on this pod. I know that's the worst thing, but I'm still doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, can we talk about how much this sucked?
Well, The Rock says it's a rowdy crowd. They got 2 minutes left. He
Why did he keep... here's a question.
nervously swearing.
Well, the swearing and all the rest of it. Time management, you think The Rock is one of the best wrestlers ever. Wrestlers have got this like gift for like time and how much time they've got. Why did he not know how to fill it? Half the time spent was asking what the time was.
Oh, yeah, or saying how long was left.
What's your justification for that? Why was that so great?
I don't think that necessarily was great. I just think, the content was the great stuff.
But the content, half of what I'm saying though, mate.
But the other half was putting everyone in their place, showing them you were all wrong.
But I don't think I'm wrong. He was just saying I was wrong.
We
He
agreed to
wasn't
disagree.
proving me wrong.
He says...
Bit donuts and waffles, that argument of his, wasn't it? Like, well, you said you wanted this, and now you wanted this. Like, those are totally different things, Rock, mate. You know that.
So he spent half this promo asking for his time cue. That's not good.
I think couldn't he not see it? Because he kept saying, we've got 6 minutes and 33, and I've got 2 minutes.
Do you think he was stalling for time because he had nothing of substance to say?
I think he was just mesmerised by this passion coming from the NXT.
You've already said that.
Yeah.
He said in his... he said...
This absolutely sucked.
He said he asked Nick Khan and Triple H if he could work on NXT weeks ago, didn't he?
Yes, yeah.
So why didn't he have...
It's funny that didn't come up.
Why did he have nothing planned then?
Yeah.
He wants to say something important. Thank you to everyone.
Thanks for coming out.
This next bit blew my mind.
See celebrities, you'll see the stars. NXT is what you have to go to. NXT is what you want to go to.
Like Raw, yeah, sounds about Raw. That's a load of shit. That's the grunt work. NXT's like, what was he doing? What was he saying?
I don't know.
You know the thing that Netflix have paid $5 billion for. Yeah, sorry about that. You kind of got to do that.
He said,
eat your vegetables and watch Raw.
Yeah. It's just a job. That's a job. This is where you want to be.
Says all the stars are here. You could be in the main event of WrestleMania in the next 3 years, or you could be out of the business. Depends on how the fans react.
Rock's like, I might do both. Night one main event for me, and then I'll probably bugger off.
He's been down this road. Sidgwick Bingo, he mentioned Flex Cabana.
I knew he was going to mention the Flex Cabana. In that dumb, empty head of his, he's going to say, developmental. It was Flex Cabana. And what a stupid name, guys, but I'm the Rock now. I'm the final boss.
I loved it
Look
when
how
he said...
far I've come.
Fake laughing.
Loads as well.
I loved it when he said, F it, we're going all night.
Yeah.
And you can see on Netflix, I was like, doesn't look like it. And you've got the executive producer thing coming up, and he's like...
if you smell!
He said, fans here will always come back. I love NXT. If you smell, looks kicking. At least he got it right this night, eh?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
This was an absolute abomination.
Yeah,
He
abysmal.
spent half the time desperately wondering how much time he had left and then checking it. And he's going, right, well, what can I say? I've got absolutely nothing to say. Thanks for coming out. I heard,
It was,
honestly,
it was
right,
Rocky Gervais.
Yeah.
You want me to do the catchphrases?
so, thanks for coming out. Oh, what can I say? People starting out. Yeah, I started out once. I was thanks for finding out what a stupid name. I'm the final boss now. I went to a wedding, right, once. I think it was the first ever wedding I went to, right?
Is this still a rock promo I'm listening to? Hey guys, so I went to a wedding once.
I went to a wedding once, right? And it was like a friend of my mom's, and I knew her as well. Not anymore. Nothing did happen.
Sounds like you'd settled a score.
She's dead now. All parties.
That still sounds like you settled a score.
She's not dead. I'm just saying. Like, all parties just lost touch. These things happen.
Yeah,
I've got people I've lost touch with where I think if I could be arsed, I'd say, "Want a pint?"
Yeah.
I just can't be arsed.
We're all
I
in
wish
our
them
30s,
well.
facts.
We're all in our
Yeah, for
30s.
now.
I wish them well. I just want to go home and just see my cat. That's what I want to do. So she marries this bloke, and this bloke is like a bloke, and he's like got knee patter, the strong silent type, right? Got no patter whatsoever, and this dude's gonna have to do a speech.
Oh, God.
And he doesn't do any stories about how he met the bride, or like any funny stories, or like all the rest of it, in painstaking fashion. And I've heard Geordie's, my dad's a Geordie, right? In the most Geordie voice you've ever heard in your life. No patter, no stories, no like real true love of the bride. Just goes around the entire room. I was dying. I just want to thank everyone for coming out. I know, big day for me. Just thanks for coming out, Lee. Thanks. Right, one by one. One by one. The entire room. And it wasn't that big a wedding. Thanks. Jimmy, thanks. Father! Thanks for coming out, Father. Didn't know my name or anyone.
That table over there.
I did. Table. Thanks. Thanks. Drink. That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Until last night's NXT, which essentially was the same thing, except with a bit more charisma and a few more catchphrases.
He's a bit more articulate now because obviously he's on Reddit a bit more, typing about wrestling.
Well, where the is he advancing gone?
Thanks, you taker. Thanks, you taker.
Where the he's there 4 minutes and then he's hey, what's going on there?
I'd have taken Birchall from the FWA myself, right? He's a bit of a bigger lad. Gone up against UT. He's a bigger lad.
UT.
I love the lads over here, but I mean...
Live show callback, I love that. But yeah,
Geordie Reddit's wedding. Can't believe we've got there.
That's where we've ended up. Oh, God. But let us know your thoughts on NXT New Year's Eve in the comments or on X at WhatCulture.
Sin should be on Raw.
At WhatCulture WWE. Watch there, you can follow all four of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at...
I'd push Eddie Thorpe, me. At Michael Hamflett.
Follow Michael Sidgwick at...
Akio for me. You know what he's doing on Velocity, man? It's belter. At M. Sidgwick.
You can follow our brilliant producer Adam Nicholas at...
It's Adam Nicholas.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. And make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from. For daily wrestling podcasts, the Dynamite Preview is available right now. But for now, this has been the NXT review. My thanks to Hamflett, Sidgwick, to Stacks. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.